We have a voicemail number that you can call if you'd like to make your presence known. That number is 2192 David P. Here's a caller with a very interesting question about Trump's fate as a sex offender on the basis of the finding against him in the E. Jean Carroll sexual assault and defamation trial yesterday.
Yes, David. This is Alan calling from Texas, and
Yes,
I was
sir.
just wondering, will Donald Trump be forced to register on the sex offender website since he was convicted of, what was it, sexual battery or assault with the E. Jean Carroll case? Could you let us know? Thank you.
The answer is no. Trump will not have to register as a sex offender. So I checked in with a couple lawyer friends today, and this was my instinct. The sex offender registry is for people found criminally liable. And because Trump was found, criminally guilty, because Trump was found civilly liable as a civil judgment, a monetary judgment, the standard of proof is different. And it does not require registering as a sex offender. Now, it is true that sex offender registration laws vary by state. And every lawyer I spoke to very lawyerly said to me, generally speaking, civil liability in sexual assault does not confer state sex offender registry. But it's possible there's some state where the laws differ because the laws on this stuff do differ from state to state. But I was not able to find any state in which you are required to register as a sex offender if you're found civilly liable for sexual assault. It's usually pretty specific. It's you must register as a sex offender if you are criminally convicted of specific offenses. Usually rape is listed, sexual assault, child molestation, child porn charges are often in there, etc. I know that you're not supposed to call it child porn, but I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. The civil judgment question theoretically could depend on state law. It appears as though states could require that those found civilly liable for similar actions be required to register. But the belief of every attorney I spoke to today is that there is no state that currently has that requirement. So Trump, as far as I know, will not have to register as a sex offender on the basis of this finding. We have such a great bonus show for you today, although many of the stories are sort of sad stories and disturbing stories. The gunman who killed 8 at the Texas shopping mall over the weekend, we now know had neo-Nazi ideation and neo-Nazi tattoos. Still, this isn't stopping some on the right from saying it was a setup, it was a false flag, or whatever the case may be. Of course, there's no evidence of that. There's evidence that he was a neo-Nazi, although police are still searching for the specific motivation in going to that mall on that day. I think it's fair to say he was a neo-Nazi. We don't yet necessarily know the motivation, although we can speculate, but let's try not to speculate and go with what we know. So we're going to talk about that on the bonus show today. Secondly, this seems to happen again and again and again. One of these anti-grooming crusaders, he's a Republican, of course, from Texas. He has now resigned because of sexual misconduct he was involved in with a teenage staffer, or aide, I think they call them. Yet again. And lastly, the subway crime debate has been revived in New York City because of this horrible choking death that took place. I have so much experience with the New York subway, and I've seen it change to some degree over the years. I will weigh in with my experiences on the subway as well as a white looking guy, right? I think it's fair to say, sure, I'm a Hispanic immigrant from Argentina, but I present like a white guy, a boring white guy. And I know that that may be a factor in my experiences versus the experiences of others on the New York subway. So we'll talk about all of those stories and more on today's bonus show. Please sign up for the bonus show, folks. It really is great.
Oh, the bonus show where you want to make money.
Yeah.
Everybody else that makes money to fund themselves is bad.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we do make money on the bonus show, but it really is great. And we'll talk about all of these stories today. You can sign up at joinpacman.com. I believe our normal membership rates are so reasonable. But if you'd like a discount, it's not means tested. It's available to whoever wants it. use the coupon code INDICTED, and you'll save roughly 50%. All right, everybody. See you in a few on the bonus show. We're back here tomorrow.